So how is the Pixel 3 XL treating me after just a little bit more than 3 days? Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. So, honest it hurts. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. If you've been here before, well, you've come back again and made my day. Thank you very much. So, Pixel 3 XL, I've been using it. I think I got it on Tuesday, I think. Maybe Wednesday. I can't remember. Anyway, a Tuesday. I think I got it Tuesday, which means today is Saturday, which means that I have been using it for about 4 days. Not good at math, people. Not good at math, okay? So just chill. I'm going to tell you in this video 3 things that I like so far about the Pixel 3 XL and 3 things that I don't like because it's the 3 XL and we'll do 3. That's kind of clever, isn't it? Isn't it? So let's get straight to it. What are the 3 things that I like so far about this phone? Huh? What are they? What are the 3 things that I like best about this phone? Number 1, I really like the build of this thing. I am super impressed. I've just never had an experience like this frosted glass that's on the back. This thing does not pick up fingerprints. It feels good. It gives it a little bit more texture to hold on to it. The curves on the side are a little bit more squared off than, say, like a Samsung phone or something like that. In fact, I mean, it's also much thinner than, say, the iPhone. This is thin, but it's got much sharper edges. The Note 9, much sharper edges. This is thinner. Feels better in the hand, as it were. Also, the weight of it is really nice. It's not heavy. Even when I put this funky case on, this is what the case that they sent me. It's my case. I don't know why this is my case, but that's what it is. Number 2 thing that I like about the Pixel 3 XL so far. Well, I mean, everybody says this about the Pixel phones, but I'm going to put a little bit different spin on it. I really like the stock Android experience. Now, I've said in the past that it's kind of like it's boring, it's vanilla. Samsung does lots of fun things with their skin, their TouchWiz or their Samsung experience or whatever it is that you want to call it. They do a lot of cool things, but I'm not talking about stock Android like there's no bloatware or anything like that on it. I'm talking about stock Android like just the way that it looks, just the skin, you know? I just really, having this... The date. When I have something coming up on my calendar, this is replaced by the next thing on my calendar. It's just really smooth and nice. It's a really good experience. This is the most, dare I say, iPhone-like experience that you can get on any Android phone that I've used up to this date. Android Pie with the gestures and such. I still get a little confused thinking that this means I can I don't want to do that. Other than that, the gestures are nice. Very nice. Very smooth. Most of the time. We'll get to that a little bit later. I also have to say, oh, look, see? Upload in 30 minutes. I'm going to be late. But that's okay. That's okay. But example. Right there, example. I also have to say that in terms of wallpaper goodness between any phone and this Pixel, the Pixel always has the best wallpapers and the best selection of wallpapers. Like, I'm particularly digging this sort of like inky stain. I don't know what you would call this, but it's some sort of like, you know, it almost looks like cell culture, but it's very cool. It gives a nice black background here, and then it gradates. The gradation is really sweet. I like this. I like this. Thank you, Google, for giving me so many options. Apple, you should learn. I mean, you guys could do all kinds of things, but you don't. And whatever. Okay. Samsung, same thing. Samsung, your stuff is really kind of awful. So step up the game. Step up the game. Get to the Google level. The number 3 thing that I like the most is honestly the ease of use of this phone. It's one-handable for me. It feels really good to be able to do the things that I want to do. The smoothness is just great. Usually I find myself struggling to get Android like all set up to do all the things that I want, but because this is just Google, I haven't really downloaded any other apps besides Google apps. You know, I've got some. But I really, really like this. I like the suggested apps. I like to then be able to swipe up one more time and get into the app drawer. And I like that the app drawer goes up and down. Because going side to side with Samsung is kind of annoying. I don't know why. I don't know why. I found myself keeping this phone really clean. And that is good. Clean is good. I like clean. But not all is well in the state of the Pixel 3 XL. We need to talk about some things that I dislike. I don't know if these things would be deal breakers for most. I don't know if they're actually deal breakers for me, but they are worth mentioning, and I'm going to mention them. I've done a pretty good job here of hiding the notch. And even though the notch is large, it is nowhere near as hideous looking as it looked in the photos that were leaked leading up to the release of this device. Even the more chin, no bezel look that it's got going on here doesn't look as bad or annoy me as much as I was afraid it would. So the notch, while I wish it wasn't there and it would be a much nicer looking phone if it wasn't, I am not as upset by it as I thought I would be when I got to see this phone. That's one dislike I have about this phone, but again, I have to put that caveat in there that I don't dislike it as much as I thought I would before I actually put the device in my hand. Number 2 dislike that I have, I guess I have a pretty good feel for what the battery life is now, and all I can say is it's not terrible. I've gotten to the end of the day almost every day, even in those first couple of days where I was using the phone a lot. It's not terrible. But it's not as good as the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. It's not as good as the iPhone XS Max. I would actually be surprised if it's better than the iPhone XS, to tell you the truth. So I only point this out because if you're somebody who needs like super battery, this is a phone that might not suit your needs. It's hard to tell with using this phone just for several days. It's difficult to get a sense of what battery life might be like, but early indications are that while it's a decent battery, it is not as good as some of the competitors out there, so you've been warned. You get that thin with the smaller battery that Google's put into this phone. Finally, the last thing that I have to put in the dislike category is bugs. I have never experienced as many bugs as I have with this phone. Now, I don't have the final build on here. I don't have what was, I mean, when Google sent me the phone, they said you're going to have to update manually to whatever. And I've been looking to see if there's manually anything for me to update to, and there's not. There's just not anything in there when I go and look for it. And so I've been having some problems with bugs. 4 or 5 times in the course of using this phone, it will just have frozen, and I have to go ahead and like long press. You long press for 10 seconds to do a soft reset. So that's what I've had to do to get the phone back up and responsive and doing the things that I need it to do, like anything. I've noticed this happen a couple of times when making phone calls and then trying to get off the phone calls. It just locks up. I'm sure this is something that will be fixed in the final build. I'm sure that this is something that will be fixed sometime soon and may have been fixed already. But I've never used a Pixel or anything that was running stock Android that had these kinds of like slowdowns and stoppages and just freezes as this has had for me over these initial days of using the phone. So how do I feel about the Pixel 3 XL after this short period of time using the device? I gotta be honest, I feel pretty good about it. And I know there are a lot of you out there who are probably saying like, oh, well, Google sent you the phone, so you got that. Well, no, I mean, this channel is called Painfully Honest Tech, and sometimes painfully honest also means give credit where credit is due. And while there's a lot that is not as it should be with this phone. The build quality is better than any Pixel has been before. It's just a very nice, easy, almost iPhone-like experience to use this phone. So I am not going to bash on this phone just because people think that that's what you're supposed to do to the Pixel 3 XL. I have good things to say about it. I'm going to say good things. We'll see how it goes over the course of the next couple of weeks when I do a full review. But as of now, the Google Pixel 3 XL is a surprisingly good phone. Shockingly better than what I thought it was going to be when I saw the leaks, when I saw the event, all that kind of stuff. So your mileage may vary. That's totally fine. Have you used the Pixel? Are you going to use the Pixel? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you hate the Pixel? I challenge all of you who are like hating on the notch to go to your Verizon store or go to Best Buy or someplace like that when you can and check it out in person and then tell me that the notch is as bad as it looked in the early leaks and photos, because to me, it just doesn't. Let me know what you think about all this stuff down in the comments. Let me know if the Pixel 3 XL has, or 3 for that matter, has made you interested in it even though you didn't think it would be, or if you're still as disinterested as you thought you would be from day one. I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. If this was your first time here and you want to come on back, like, subscribe, bell notify yourself, those kinds of things. If you've been here before, then you guys just keep coming back, and you know, it makes me feel good. So thank you very much. Again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.